Okay, so what we left off with is we finished the dress. You glued it here and wrapped all the way down to here and then glued it. Preferably make your glue on the same side. This makes your doll look a little more uniform and just makes things a little neater. Put all your glue on the same side. So now that we've done the bottom half of the dress, we're going to do the arms. Now they're tiny, so they're kind of tricky, but once you get them started, they're really easy. They're the same way you're going to do the dress. All you're doing is wrapping. You're going to take one of your arms and set everything else off to the side, and mine is rolling away from me. So I'm going to take my colored strand for my flesh color, and at the very tip I'm going to put my glue dot at the tip. It doesn't have to be the very tip top, but close to the top, right about there. You're going to put a glue dot and you're going to glue your string to it. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Glue your string and then you can start wrapping. Make sure your string dries before you start to wrap it, because otherwise your string's just going to pull right on off of itself. Now notice here, you guys, I'm not using hardly any glue. Okay, sorry, my phone ran, or my computer ran out of memory there for a second. So you don't need much glue to put these on here, and I just kind of glued it and then I twisted it just a little bit to make it stick. Twisted it just a little bit so that the string wraps around it. No, you can't see it very well because they're the same color. But I started here at the point. This is my arm. And I'm down here at the point. And I didn't go all the way to the top. That's going to be covered up by our shoulders. So we're going to go ahead and start wrapping. And this one's a little tedious because it's the smallest of the group. But it's okay. Once you get the hang of it, it's all fine. So we're going to wrap a little bit. Make sure they stay. And then I'm going to switch over and hold the shoulder. Hold the tip. So I'm going to hold the tip now. And that's going to make it a little easier for me to wrap. I'm at the end now. And I'm ready to put my glue on it. So I'm on top of my toothpick. And I'm going to put my finger there so it doesn't unravel. And I'm going to put a little dab of glue right here. Make my glue come out. Ah, I got it on my desk. Little bit. That's more than what's necessary. But it's okay. We can wipe it off with our fingers. So I go ahead and stick it on there and then pull it back off. So I have something, you know, it's pretty easy to cut. And of course my scissors get glue on them, and there's a little bit of glue left on my string. But it's okay, we're going to use that string again for the other arm. And that keeps our thread from fraying. You know, later on if you're going to make a bracelet, you can just cut that off. See, I usually don't leave my scissors with glue on them either. When I get done with a project, I'll wipe them off. It's important to keep your scissors clean. These are craft scissors that I got at Hobby Lobby. These are what I use to cut my thread, and for thread only. Every now and then I'll cut a small piece of paper, but I do not use these for cutting my toothpicks. I use the big industrial ones that I showed you guys earlier. Big scissors. These I keep just for floss and thread and stuff. They last longer this way. But since they have glue on the tips of them, I don't think I have very much on there right now. No, they're pretty clean right now actually. But I just kind of take my finger now and scratch off the dry glue when I'm done working with them. But anyway, cleaning tools is another tutorial. Probably won't do that. I think you guys know how to keep your tools clean. So there's our finished arm. We have a little tip left on it. That little tip right there. But that's okay. Do your other arm and then you can glue them. So we're going to do the other arm. and then I'm going to show you guys how to glue them. Okay? So the way the arm attaches is you're going to set it right there on your doll. And see how that kind of fits together? You know? It kind of goes just right there. I sometimes... I'm losing my arms. I will sometimes put my arms a little higher than that. I think I did on her. Sometimes I'll put my arms up right there, just to add a little extra height. If I cut the head too tall, I'll sometimes do that, and it levels things out. Some people have, I've seen them glued there, like that, so that the shoulders are more broad. I like to glue them at an angle like that. And then as I wrap, they kind of just secure, and they look cuter that way. They're like, hey, I'm ready to go shopping. Let's go. Anyways, so back to what we were saying about gluing the arms on. You're going to take your arms, try not to let them roll away, because they do. And you're going to put a little bit of glue, not too much. That's probably about what you need. And you're going to glue it to your doll. And that little glue spot is going to go right there in that little wedge. Right there. I do this just to kind of help it activate and smear. But once you do this, set it down and let it dry. Walk away, go eat lunch, do something else, make a bracelet. For all my bracelet makers out there, go make a bracelet. Yeah, so this needs to set and dry. And it's kind of hard to do both of them at once, because if you kind of leave it there a while, it starts to kind of sag. So see, it's kind of starting to sag now. So I'm going to set this one down and let it dry, and then I'm going to put the other arm on and let it dry. And once it's dried, then we can move on to the next step. Not until the glue is dry, okay? Because I would hate for you guys to start wrapping and your arms fall off. That's horrible. So let your glue dry, okay guys? Because it really helps, okay? Okay guys, quick tutorial on hands. While our chick is finishing her little drying session with her arms, why is this over here? I'm going to show you guys how to create hands. So if you're going to do long sleeves like I am for this chick, it's getting close to Halloween, so I'm going to do a witch, which is, you know, in folklore and everything and all the cartoons, they're green. So she has a little green hand here. This is her arm. You know, it's not any different from our arms that we have here. It's just, this one's a little longer. I make mine a little bit smaller. This is the ones that I cut for you guys in the beginning. So this is how long they really are in comparison to what I usually make mine. She's a little taller. This is like an adult and this is like a child. I like to make mine a little smaller. I prefer to make mine smaller mainly because they can fit in small boxes, which I usually give them away in. I don't think this one fits in a matchbox. Yeah, she fits in a matchbox. You can tell they fit in matchboxes just by setting them on top of the box. And if she fits, then she fits. So I usually give them away in matchboxes. I use matchboxes for other things too. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys how to make little hands, which she has a long sleeve and she has a hand. The toothpick will serve as what looks like a hand, so you don't have to put a hand on there. I am, because this is a witch and she has green hands. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that real quick because I'm going to finish this other hand. So I take my thread, it's still attached to the skein. Excuse me, here's the end of it. Here's my hand that's, or my arm that's unfinished. There's just a little bit here that is left over. And yes, I have a little spindly piece of thread that's left over, but that's okay, we're going to cover it. So pick a spot to glue. I'm going to stick it right there on top of that one. Wow, there goes my glue. It's kind of dried itself up, so I don't want the whole piece of glue. I have a stick around here somewhere. There we go. There's enough glue. Yeah, see, that's more than enough glue. So, you know, take the color of your hand. Mine's green because she's a witch. And stick it on there. And I have a little glue left over on my thumb. Just gonna kind of cover that up. There we go. So like you're gonna start another color basically. You know, just glue it down and start another color. Simple, right? You know, I'm only gonna do one wrap, one simple loop. I'm gonna come around and glue on top of the glue dot that I just made. So put a glue dot on the one I just finished, and gonna come around. There we go. There's my glue dot. And I'm gonna cut it really close. Cut. There. Now, just roll it onto your glue dot. See, I have a little glue sticking out. That's okay. I'm just going to kind of press it in to what I just cut and try to make it. I'm rolling it too at the same time I'm rolling it. I'm not sure if the camera picks that up or not. There, we have a hand. When you get to the tips here, this is kind of important. When you get to these tips, a lot of times if you go too far, they can come undone. They can, you know, start to just fall off the top. So what I usually do is just kind of push them back on before the glue dries. Just kind of push down just a little bit, and that'll keep your thread from wanting to just kind of roll off. So there, now I have arms for my witch. See? Little green hands and black sleeves. Now that we're done with our little girl, she's dried now. She's a little topless, I would say. But it's okay because there's nothing to show, right? So what you're going to do is you still need pink here somehow, or a color change. I'm not going to change the color on this one just for me, because I don't want to dig through and find another color. So I'm going to use the same color I was using before, and we're just going to continue wrapping. Here's my string, and here's my girl. I'm going to go ahead and make her just like I did this one. And my glue tip has dried again. Quick dry glue does that. The tip of it dries all the time. So I'm going to put more than I normally do. I'm going to put a nice sufficient amount on there. Now this is not a big glob, but it is a good amount. So once you stick it on there, you're going to go ahead and wrap a layer or two, and that will just kind of secure it to the body. I'm going to put a glue dot right there, and I'm just going to actually just kind of make a line with my glue. Take our thread and go over and stick it back on. And see, nice and pretty, and you can't even tell that it stops there, really. So there's our girl's dress. The dress is finished, and you're going to bring your skin tone back in. We're going to do the head next.